Welcome to Throne Talk. Today, we're diving into the complex and fascinating relationship between the United Kingdom and the United States, often called the special relationship. With Donald Trump back in the White House, this historic bond faces some serious challenges. How will this affect global politics, trade, and Britain's standing in the world? Stick around as we unpack this story, and don't forget to subscribe to Throne Talk for more royal and political insights. Let's explore how history, politics, and personalities collide. Now, let's set the stage. Picture this, a brash, larger-than-life figure on one side of the Atlantic, and centuries of pomp and tradition on the other. The relationship between the United States and the United Kingdom has always been described as its special relationship. But could Trump's admiration for the royals make it extra special? Let's explore that today. First things first, let's talk about Trump's well-documented admiration for the British monarchy. If there's one thing you can say about Donald Trump, it's that he's not shy about sharing his opinions. And when it comes to the British royals, he's been downright glowing. Back in 2019, during his state visit to the UK, Trump referred to Queen Elizabeth II as a great, great woman, and even called her a tremendous leader. Quite the compliment, isn't it? But it doesn't stop there. Trump's admiration extends beyond the late Queen. He's expressed fondness for Prince William and Kate Middleton, the future king and queen. And who could forget his comments about the grandeur of Buckingham Palace? I mean, it's hard to top the Trump Tower, but apparently, Buckingham Palace did it for him. One fascinating thing about Trump is his deal-maker approach. He doesn't see international relations as long-term partnerships but as transactions. For the UK, that means every interaction could be a negotiation rather than a collaboration. And let's be honest, Trump loves a good power play. Imagine him at the bargaining table with British officials. He might say, "What's in it for us?" louder than anyone else in the room. Now, let's break down some of the key areas where this relationship might hit a rough patch. First, there's NATO. Trump has a history of questioning its value and has hinted at pulling back US support. For the UK, NATO is a cornerstone of its defense strategy. A weakened NATO could leave Britain and Europe vulnerable in ways we haven't seen in decades. And let's be honest, nobody wants to go back to the days of Cold War tensions. And then there's the matter of public opinion. Trump's presidency has always been polarizing, and his return is no exception. In the UK, many see Trump as a symbol of everything they oppose. Nationalism, isolationism, and let's face it, a fair bit of controversy. How this public sentiment influences the government's approach to the US will be key. After all, politics doesn't happen in a vacuum. It's shaped by the people and their passions. Let's shift gears to talk about economics. Under Trump, we can expect a push for lower taxes and deregulation in the US. This could attract British businesses and talent, particularly as the Labour government considers policies that might feel more restrictive. The phrase brain drain comes to mind. Why stay in London when New York is rolling out the red carpet? For Britain, retaining its top talent will become an uphill battle, and it's not just about economics, it's about pride. Now, let's tackle Brexit. Remember when Britain voted to leave the EU, and Trump hailed it as a victory for national sovereignty? Well, the dream of a beautiful trade deal between the US and UK has yet to materialize. Trump's return could either revive or bury that dream, depending on how negotiations play out. It's a bit like waiting for a sequel to a blockbuster movie. Will it be worth the hype, or a total flop? Speaking of negotiations, let's not forget defense spending. Trump has made it clear he expects NATO allies to pull their weight financially. For Britain, this could mean ramping up military budgets at a time when domestic spending is already under strain. It's a tough ask, but one that might be unavoidable. After all, a strong defense alliance is only as strong as its weakest link. And here's an interesting twist. Trump's focus on deal-making might shift US attention away from Europe entirely. He's more interested in regions like the Indo-Pacific, where economic and geopolitical stakes are higher. For Britain, this could mean playing second fiddle in a global orchestra where the US is busy composing its own symphony. Then, there's Ukraine. Britain has been a staunch supporter of Ukraine, but Trump's interest in making deals with Russia could leave the UK scrambling to figure out its next move. It's like being at a party where your best friend suddenly decides to team up with the person you've been avoiding all night. Awkward, right? Oh, and we can't forget about trade. Trump's America First policies might lead to tariffs or economic policies that could hit Britain hard. Imagine British goods facing higher prices in the US market while American companies lure talent and investment away from the UK. Not exactly the kind of special treatment Britain is hoping for. Now, I know this all sounds a bit doom and gloom, but let's inject some humor into this, shall we? Picture this: Trump and Starmer trying to bond over tea at Buckingham Palace. Trump might demand burgers, Starmer might bring scones, and the Queen, oh wait, King Charles now, might just shake his head and ask for a pint instead. But jokes aside, there's a lot at stake here. The UK has often been lucky with its timing in aligning with US leaders. Thatcher had Reagan, Blair had Clinton, and even Boris Johnson had a brief bromance with Trump. But now, Britain finds itself more isolated. It's out of the European Union, and it doesn't have a strong partner in the US. It's like being the last one picked for the dodgeball team. And let's not forget the cultural and academic ties between these nations. From Hollywood movies to shared research programs, the UK and US have always been closely linked. But even these areas could feel the strain if political tensions rise. Imagine fewer British accents in American blockbusters. Now that's a tragedy we can all agree on. So, what does this mean for the future? Britain might have to rethink its strategy. It could mean spending more on defense to meet Trump's demands or finding new trade partners to compensate for potential US tariffs. It's a challenging road ahead, but Britain has faced tough times before. And this is where you come in, viewers. What do you think about the future of the UK-US special relationship? Will it survive the Trump era, or are we witnessing the end of a historic alliance? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the Throne Talk community. We've got plenty more royal and political stories to unpack together. As we wrap up, let's remember that the UK-US relationship has weathered many storms. From wars to economic crises, these two nations have found ways to work together. But with Trump back in the Oval Office and a new political landscape in Britain, the path forward is anything but clear. One thing's for sure: it's going to be an interesting ride. Thanks for tuning in to Throne Talk. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thought-provoking content. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay royal.